I want to bring in H.A. Hellier now. He's a Senior Associate Fellow in International Security Studies at the Royal United Services Institute and Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. He joins us live from London. A very warm welcome to you. So in the past hour or so, this all-important resolution has been passed to the United Nations. The question now is implementation, given that Israel has a track record in ignoring what the UN has to say.
So I think that the issue that we all have to keep in mind is that the Israelis will change course as a result of one of two things. One, if domestically they feel that they have accomplished what they have set out to accomplish and they choose of their own volition, or if they are forced to do so as a result of pressure, not from the United Nations, not from the international community, but from Washington, D.C. And Washington, D.C., hitherto, until now, has not placed that requisite amount of pressure in order for that result to come about. And I don't think that we are going to see any change in Israeli behavior with regards to Gaza or otherwise, unless that changes in Washington first.
It also seems pretty clear that if there is going to be any lasting change, there needs to be some fresh thinking and a fresh change of leadership in Israel. But of course, that isn't likely to come anytime immediately soon. What happens in the interim?
In the interim, I think you unfortunately see more of the same, where there is no clarity over Israel's game plan in Gaza, where there's no clarity about the quote-unquote day after in Gaza. On the contrary, you have contradictory messages being put out. This is causing a great deal of concern and frankly, consternation in Washington, D.C., as well as, of course, in other capitals where they want to be able to give succor to Israel in this particular time. But even Israel's supporters in places like Washington are kind of stuck because they want to see a game plan. They want to see a strategy that makes sense, not sort of wild, fancy ideas about eliminating Hamas from the face of the earth or something. Right. They want to see actual concrete objectives, and ones that do not simply mean we keep bombing, and then we'll figure it out later.
Just talking about those apparent military objectives, that strategy that Israel may or may not be going for. I'm just wondering to what extent Al-Shifa Hospital factors into all of that. We've heard within the last few hours claims that guns, ammunition, grenades and flak jackets have been found at the hospital. Of course, Israel we can't independently verify that. It's only Israel on its own making those claims. I wonder what all of this means within the context of our understanding of the conflict.
I don't think it frankly means very much because, as you said, we are unable to verify any of this. It would not surprise me if they found such materials. It would also not surprise me if they didn't. And we've already seen, unfortunately, far too many occurrences, not just in the last day, but in the last few weeks, where a claim has been made about, for example, finding evidence of hostages being held in this particular room. This was, over the last few days. And the evidence turns out to be a calendar with the names of the week written in Arabic, not names of people who are actually involved in the hostage taking. So, and there's quite a few other examples that look similar to that. So, unfortunately, unless there is third-party verification of this sort of thing, it becomes very difficult for people then to read into it. Right now, there's talk about, I saw this just before I came on air, where an IDF spokesperson, I think, said, oh, look, they taped over cameras, so this is proof of something. If Hamas had taken over the hospital, they wouldn't need to tape over cameras. They'd simply switch them off. Okay, so I mean, it becomes very difficult, and unfortunately, what we've seen regularly over the last few weeks in various directions is not just misinformation, but active disinformation about different things that are happening, and it becomes very difficult then for people to verify what's actually going on.
Yeah, there is indeed a blizzard of information and disinformation. H.A. Hellier from the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.